All right. Hello, everybody. We are live. How's everyone doing on a Friday evening? I think we're not going to have too many people watching today. Everyone's busy having a life on a Friday evening. I see Ibnu and Akshay as usual. How's it going, Akshay? How's it going, Ibnu?
So if there are other topics, anything in
Um, Nikhil, I think I can hear you playing a video in the background.
No, I got it. I got it.
Okay. So we'll chill for a couple of minutes, wait for more people to join in. I'm still
Yeah,
wait.
I think
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm still waiting to hear from Ibnu and Akshay. Are they online? Can they hear me? Array Dawn looking fresh. Why am I looking fresh? Is my hair looks better? It's combed nicely. I'm always fresh. Well, we have more and more people joining in. The smile. Well, I generally don't smile when I'm when I'm on stream. I'm always smiling when I'm on stream. I'm always happy to see everybody. It's always fun. Is Ibnu here? Ibnu, if you can hear me, say something in chat. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're alive. So, what's everybody doing on a Friday evening? I mean, apart from watching me. Because we're going to have a great session today. Maybe. Depends on the session. We're going to go through some fun things. Just wait for a couple more people to join in. I don't think we have any new music posted. I was thinking we were talking about streaming new music that we've been coming across, but considering that we're streaming this on YouTube, I realized that we will get into trouble with copyrights and things. So we cannot play music that that people are putting up as it not our students' music because we will get into trouble. So any popular music will be a little dicey. So we're not going to be doing that. But yes. Oh, but no, there is no new music. Cool. It's the weekend. Hopefully, people will start posting some music over the weekend. We'll get some interesting music to look at. All right. I hope you guys are using the platform, having fun with the platform. I'm just going to check what's happening on Discord. There's quite a few people online on Discord, but nobody seems to be joining in or saying hi. That's okay. All right, so I guess I will start talking and people will join in eventually. I guess people aren't used to us starting on time. But we will start getting used to starting on time at 9 sharp. We're still getting all the details in order all the I'm getting used to all the streaming bits and bobs and making sure things are running on time. So yes, we will make sure that we start at 9 sharp every day, and it should be a lot of fun. So today we're going to be talking about plugins and a bunch of free plugins that you guys can get access to. So for those of you who are on the platform, if you go to the Q&A forum, let's open that up. So we'll go to the Q&A forum, and Spinny has shared a thread, an interesting thread, called Share Your Free Plugins. So when he says share your free plugins, he doesn't mean, actually post the plugin file over here, the VST file over here. You can put in links to the plugins, and we'll check them out and we'll go through them. So Spinny's put a big list, a list of a bunch of plugins over here. I'm guessing some of you might know these plugins. Some of you may use these plugins already. For those of you who don't, I posted an unreleased track of mine if you guys are interested. Yeah, why not? Let's see what unreleased track Akshay has posted. Where have you posted it? I do not see. Did you just post it? You posted it as a comment to my thing. You have to post it as a new answer. So scroll all the way down, and you'll see the write your answer section. Put it in over there, no? This comment section is a little iffy. So you can delete your comment, and you can just put it in at the bottom. And you shared a Google Drive. Ooh, that's not advisable. Don't share Google Drive links. I think it'll be better if you uploaded it on something like SoundCloud and posted a link. For now, I'll download it. I'll play it from here. But I don't think that's a good idea to do in the future. All right, let me switch the screens because I realize I'm showing things on the screen and I'm not showing you guys. All right, so so on the platform, Akshay, you've posted it as a comment. Next time, cool. So you've posted it as a comment, Akshay. You can just I have the track queued up, so I'll play it now. But you can just delete this comment over here and post it as an actual answer. So let's just go ahead and listen to Akshay's unreleased music.
मुझे ख्वाब नहीं आते अब नींद में होश में करूँ सपनों का पीछा नहीं डर कोई नहीं परवाह करूँ मेहनत मिलेगा नतीजा जिंदगी है मेरी नहीं वॉर ये रिबेलियन सोलो मेरी राइट गॉट नो बेचो मा बिलियन हजार नहीं मिलियन सुनते मिलेनियल करूँ टाइम पास लेकिन बंदी आई सीरियस लबों पे है कश नी लगाने तेरे होठ क्योंकि धुएं में सुरूर मुझे देगा धीरे मौत ये है सस्ता नशा मुझे मिलेगा हर जगह ना तेरे होठों की तरह जो देते मुझे तरसा है जब से लगा मुझे स्वाद कुछ मीठा नहीं याद क्यों लगाई तूने आग मुझे जलना पड़ेगा तेरी याद में रात में जागूं मैं हाथ में लेके वो नशा जो मुझे मारे हर सांस में फिर भी क्यों तुझे करता हूँ याद मैं धुएं में उड़ा के खुद को करूँ बर्बाद में हाय नशा चीज बड़ी कुत्ती है मेरी सांसें भी दुखती है लेकिन लत नहीं रुकती है हाय तू क्यों नहीं झुकती है मुझसे ऐसे क्यों रूठी है ऐसे रंग क्यों बदलती है हाय तू क्यों नहीं झुकती है मुझसे ऐसे क्यों रूठी है ऐसे रंग क्यों बदलती है जाने किसी बीमारी है ये तेरी यादें मुझे रातों में सोने भी ना दे बस पूरी रात बाहों में समेटे लेटा रहता हूँ मेरी चादर को खुद को मनवा के कि बस यही है तेरी बाहें दिल जलो के जैसे जले तू शरबत मारे मैंने कश बस शब महताब में चर्चे थे आशिकी के मेरे गलियों में उन्हीं गलियों में रांझा तेरा बदनाम अब आशिकी मुकम्मल होती बस फरिश्तों की इंसान को बस बर्बाद होते देखा है तेरे लिए अलविदा और मेरे लिए थी सजा ये तेरा चेहरा बुरे वक्त में देखा है हाय नशा चीज बड़ी कुत्ती है मेरी सांसें भी दुखती है लेकिन लत नहीं रुकती है हाय तो अब क्यों नहीं झुकती है मुझसे ऐसे क्यों रूठी है ऐसे रंग क्यों बदलती है नशा चीज बड़ी कुत्ती है नशा चीज बड़ी कुत्ती है
Nice track. That's a really good track, man. So what's the unreleased what's the not completed part yet? Why is it not completed? Are you waiting on the mix and master? Are you trying to mix it down? Are you adding new sections? What's going on? It is completed. Oh, okay. It's completed. It's just not released yet. Okay. It's getting mixed and mastered. Who's mixing and mastering it? You have to wait. It takes a minute for the answers to go across. A friend of the rapper. Okay, nice. Good stuff, man. His name is Kaushik. Okay, nice. Great stuff, great song. Good to hear the music that you're making and putting out. I think you've made stuff with this MC Mustafa guy before, right? Did you make something or did Spinny make something? Spinny made something. I forget. Someone has worked with this rapper before. I don't remember. Anyway, so
both of them made something.
both of them, one with Spinny and one with now with Akshay, right?
Yeah.
Ah. Yes, his name is Jeffrey. I've made like 3 tracks with him already. Ah, okay, nice. Yeah, good. Good to see you guys are collaborating, even in these weird times of not hanging out with people physically. People are collaborating. That's good. Good to see that happening. I can see quite a few people have joined on Discord. Yeah. Hari is here. Thompson is here. Hey, Thompson, how's it going? Hi, Hari. Hope you guys are having a good, what is today? Friday? Friday evening, Friday night. So, okay, coming back to what we're going to be talking about today. All fine. Good, good. Okay, let's get into what we're going to be talking about today. So today we are talking about free plugins that you can download and use. So on the platform, let me just close all this. Yeah, so on the platform, Q&A forum, let's load. Yes, so Spinny has posted a thread over here. You can see it. Share your free plugins. Let's go into that. So Spinny has shared a list of a bunch of plugins that are for free. I'm guessing some of you already use them. Some of them are pretty popular. Some of them I heard for the first time today, and they're a lot of fun to play around with. So we're going to play around with these plugins. If you guys want to download them, again, these are plugins that are free for download. So go to this thread in the forum, and you can download these plugins over here. Just click on the link and go to the site, and it'll give you an option somewhere to download, I'm guessing. Do you have to log in to download? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So you have different downloads over here. Awesome. So in order to try out these plugins, I have furthered the music that we were looking at yesterday. And I'm also going to zoom out a little bit because this is a little too zoomed in. All right, I'm guessing everyone can still see all the details. And let me just go ahead and play our music from yesterday. I added a couple of parts from the synthesizer. I got this synthesizer hooked up into Ableton, so it's receiving MIDI information from Ableton and sending audio information back. So I was able to record a bunch of interesting sections that I have listed out over here. So I'll show you those sections. Again, this is just what I've been playing around with the last couple of days, and just to learn Live 11, since Live 11 is coming out, and I need to get familiar with Live 11. So I just started, putting some music together. Let's have a listen to what I have so far, and then we'll start adding these free plugins in and see what we get. So let's listen. So here are the couple of new sections that I've added in. So I have this. There's kind of an ARP that's playing from the synth. So this is all recorded. This is all recorded from my Korg mini log. So I just recorded straight into the software. Then I have this. And what else? I think that's all that I've added, just those two sections. And obviously on the vocals, I just went ahead and added those chords over the vocals so you can hear that. Oops. Both of these has to run. Yeah, so I just basically put some chords over here just in plain MIDI, and as we talked about yesterday, I'm using spectral resonator to resonate the vocals according to the chords that I've played. So fun stuff happening. So let's take a look at the plugins and start using them one by one. So the first one is this Valhalla Supermassive. So I was playing around with this a bit. A lot of people use Supermassive a lot. It's a really good kind of delay plugin that plays around with time also. So let's see what that looks like. Supermassive. So I'm just going to drop that onto, let's put it on this synth section. And let's give that a listen. That sounds pretty interesting. So I'll turn it off and turn it on. So that's without the effect. I can switch it to a noted signature. nice. I can have the delays also warped. Sounds interesting. Let's hear how that sounds with the track. So that sounds pretty interesting. I think we can change the modes also. Let's play around with this. Let's see what we can get. Let me just loop this section. Create a line. Sounds pretty interesting, super thick and rich. I think there's something else. We have presets. Presets are always fun. Let's go for a chorus. Let's see what happens. Beautiful reverb tail on the. Yeah, it sounds really, really nice. I think like I don't know if it's just if it's because it's working with on this synth sound right now, but it sounds really, really nice on this. Let's try some of these reverbs now. It's an interesting sound. Let's see how that sounds with the rest of the track. That's pretty interesting. I think that's a little too much on the that sounds pretty cool. So a lot of interesting sounds, some really nice lush delays and reverb tails with this plugin for sure. That is definitely something that you guys should try out. I'll definitely be using this more. Let's see what else we have on the list. We also have Valhalla Frequency Echo. Okay, another Valhalla plugin. All right, not necessarily stoned, but beautiful. Okay, that's a nice tagline for a plugin. So it looks like a nice echo plugin. Let's give this a shot and see what we can get. Let's maybe put it on this. Right, it's an echo plugin, so maybe we can fill in those spaces with these echoes. So let me just go ahead and find that Valhalla Frequency Echo. And let me drop it over here. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, a nice little echo. Let's see what we have here. Let's put it in 1/8. Okay. All right. Now we're getting somewhere interesting. Let's see how that sounds with the rest of the track. So really interesting how it shifts frequency on the delay. Can you guys hear that? So you can hear it slowly shifting the frequency up. It's kind of pitching it up. That's an interesting plugin. So I'm going to just leave it on that, I don't know, that little synth part that I created. Let's see, what do we have next? What else has Spinny given us? SK.
You are blocking the window, plugin window.
I'm blocking the plugin window?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Okay, so I'll keep my plugins on the left side. Yeah, again, if you guys have any questions, ask your questions, put them in chat. And I will answer your questions. So yes, a couple of really good plugins. We went through a couple of the free Valhalla plugins. So that is pretty interesting. Let's listen to these two sections together and see what that sounds like. Some pretty interesting sounds you can get out of that. I'm sure that those sounds, these kind of reverbs and delays sound really good on electronic instruments. So it's perfect on a synth. It sounds really good on a synth. Sounds more lively now. Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're using a lot of digital instruments, especially like synths and things like that. There are times where things can get very sterile in a way. Like just take for example like this one synth section. So this is like without Valhalla. So it sounds nice, right? It's a nice tone coming from the synth. But the moment I add Valhalla on it, right, there's some life in there, right? There's delays happening, there's frequency shifting. It just makes it so much more fun and so much more lively. So adding really good effects, interesting effects on top of your synths always do good things. Let's see what else we have. All right, we went through Supermassive, we went through Frequency Echo. Next we have SK10. Spinny has been raving about SK10. Add thump and body to your kick. SK10 is afraid of and simulates simulates a sub kick microphone. Oh, that's interesting. If you guys haven't seen a sub kick microphone, they're actually pretty interesting. That's actually a speaker that's converted into a microphone. Let's see if we can find a picture of one. Okay. Yeah, you can see these little drum things. So yeah, this is a good picture of it, where you can actually see. Okay, I think my face is gonna cover this. There we go. Okay, so you can see this picture on the right over here where you have this Yamaha sub kick right in front of it. So this is actually pretty much like a speaker that's been converted into a microphone. And they actually sell this commercially right now. This is actually a good way of looking at it. So you can see it's an actual speaker that's being used to capture sound from the kick. And yeah, these are really good for capturing a lot of sub frequencies and a lot of that low end depth. So let's see if SK10 can do some magic on our kick. So let's go to our drums. Let's have a listen to our drums. This will be the section. Yeah, this kick can use some low end. So let me go ahead and find the kick. That is my kick. And this is SK10, yes? SK10. Let's go ahead and drop it onto our kick. And let's see what happens. Let's turn it off. Yeah. So it's definitely adding some low end.
Don't you are blocking the
Yep.
blocking the plugin.
Yep. All right. So it's definitely adding some low end harmonics over here for sure. If you guys are listening on headphones, you'll definitely hear this. If you're listening on your phone speakers, it's going to be hard to hear all these small changes that we're doing. So make sure to plug in your earphones, your headphones, your nice listening devices. And let's have a listen again. So that's with it on. Turn it off. Let's see how it sounds with the rest of the track. One Num says, damn, that is one good plugin. Yeah, it's a pretty cool plugin. It immediately added some nice depth to my kick. So you guys should definitely try this out. Again, link is in the Q&A forum under share your free plugins. Right? You can find it over here. I'm just going to make my... How would I compare this to Drum Buzz? So Drum Buzz is a little different. Drum Buzz has a lot more, there's a lot more going on in Drum Buzz. So let me actually do this same thing with Drum Buzz. So Drum Buzz I wouldn't use on just a kick. I would use Drum Buzz on the entire kit, not just one single portion of the kit. Whereas it looks like this plugin was meant for, just for your kick, because it is a sub kick simulator. So I don't think you would put this on your snare or any other part of the kick. Whereas when you're using Drum Buzz, so let's actually do that. Let's pull in a Drum Buzz and play around with that. So it should be under Drive, Drum Buzz. There it is. So let's just put this after the fact. So if you notice in my chain over here, Drum Buzz is after my entire drum rack. So it's affecting everything within the drum rack, whereas the SK10, that is the single plugin that we looked at just now, is only after my kick. Right? So this SK10 is only affecting my kick, whereas Drum Buzz is going to affect my entire drum kit. So let's see what we can do with drum buzz. Yeah. So in drum buzz, I can put distortion, add a little drive on it. So I'm just gonna go a little extreme, you know, just so you guys can hear the difference. So you can hear it affects the entire kit. So if we put on the entire kit, obviously it's going to affect everything. Can add some crunch. So basically crunch is going to work more on my mid-range frequencies. I'm just going to bring down this drive completely. So you can hear how the crunch is kind of working on, you know, the snare elements. Turn it off, turn it back on. And a fun thing with drum buzz is I have this boom function. So I can actually set a frequency over here. And as I'm setting this frequency, if you look at the bottom over here, it's actually giving me a relative note. So I can tune my boom to the tune of my track. So I know I'm on an A minor, so let's tune this to A. And I can just click on it to round it off to A. And I can start increasing the boom and see what happens. I'm just going to turn off SK10 because it's kind of blurring out my kick. Right, so I'll start increasing the boom. So you can see how immediately drum buzz just made my drums massive. Let's see how it sounds with the rest of the song. Right, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, I think what you generally have to be careful of, especially when you're working in drums and your kicks, is when you have parallel processes like this, when you have like I have basically this SK10 on the kick over here, plus my drum bus outside, there is a chance of things clashing, so you have to be careful. And if I turn this on, you'll hear what I mean. Right, now you can hear like my kick is too boomy. So let's make some changes over here. Maybe we can just tone it down a bit. Yeah. So you can find a nice balance between the two. So that's a nice big fat kick sound that we have right now. Might be too fat. Can never be too fat. Let's see how this sounds. So interesting sound, nice big thick sound from using SK10 with drum and bass. Drum bus. Now let's see what else we have. Again, if you guys have questions, feel free to post it. I see a lot more people have joined in. That bottom be thick. Yeah, it's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick sound. That's what I said. It might be a little too thick, but I mean, can it ever be too thick? I think that's the right question to ask. That sounds pretty cool. Let's see what else Spinny has. And so Spinny has like a nice little goodie bag of plugins that he's given us. So let's see what else he has for us. Next we have Snare Buzz by Waves Factory. Okay, give realism to your track. Snare Buzz is a free audio plugin that simulates the sympathetic resonance produced by wires. Oh, okay, nice. That's pretty cool. So it sounds like it's going to bring out that snare sound. So if you've ever looked at a snare, you have this wire mesh underneath. So it sounds like it's going to bring that sound out a bit, I guess. Let's see what happens. So let's go ahead, go into our drum kit. Let's put it on this snare. And let's go to our plugins. What is it called again? Snare Buzz. There it is. So let's put that onto our snare and see what happens. Let's turn it off. Okay, let's make some adjustments. Ooh, we can move the mic away from the snare. The picture actually moves. So let's move that a bit away. Tightness, let's loosen it up a bit, because loose snares sound nice. Nice. So this snare doesn't have too much of a like that snarey, that metallic sound to it. Let's see if I have. This kind of has some grains on it. Let's put it on this and see what happens. Let's close this. Okay, so let's do the same thing. Let's decrease the tightness, give it some space, maybe increase it in the mix, and let's see what happens. Oh, it's definitely giving it some airiness. Let's tighten it a bit. Okay, we have different rooms. Let's try another room. Alright. Let's try another type of snare. Nice. So it's kind of added to the graininess of the sound. Let's see how it sounds with the rest of the kit. My snares are definitely cutting through a lot cleaner now. Let's see how it sounds with the rest of the track. So that sounds pretty cool. Those are definitely good plugins to make your drum sounds punch through, for sure. So again, if you guys want to check out those plugins, we are in the Q&A forum. Spinny has started a thread called Share Your Free Plugins. You can put your plugins over here, and everyone can share them. Please do not post pirated plugins here. If you are posting pirated plugins here, we will delete those plugins. These are not pirated plugins. These are plugins that are made freely available for everyone to use. So try them out. Should be fun. Next, we have Ozone Imager. So let's give that a shot. So Ozone by Isotope should be interesting. Free instant audio imaging. Okay, control width, stereoize it. Stereoize can turn mono into stereo with no need for reverb or doubling. And it enhance and stereo. Okay. Okay. So we can make things sound wider with this. So let's go ahead and let's put it on something that we've already widened a bit. I think we've put some widening on this track, right? Let's take a listen. Yeah, let's start widening that out and see what happens. So, what am I looking for? Imager, right? Ozone Imager 2, there it is. So let's go ahead and put it on this track, and let's see what happens now. Interesting. Oh yeah, it's definitely widening that image.
Adon, you are blocking the window.
Someone is sending it on their bike outside. So yeah, I can increase the stereoize image, and we can see the image over here itself. You can see it's becoming bigger. So this is with it down. You can see how it's very concentrated in the center. And let's bring it up. And now you can see how it's like spread out. Nice, this is a good imaging tool also. Let's see with it off. That's definitely widening up my track and adding some stereo width to that sound. Let's see how it sounds with the rest of the song. So that's an interesting effect. You can use that to widen things out. Let's see what else we have. We are running out of time. Okay, I need to get through these a lot faster. Would you prefer to use something like this instead of a mid-side EQ? It really depends. So mid-side EQ is not going to increase your stereo spread. It's not going to increase your width. What mid-side EQ will do is it'll increase the definition of sounds in that space. So what will happen is, imagine you have a really thick sound, but you have too many frequencies in that stereo space, in your left and right space. So if you wanted to have it, if you want it to be more defined, then you would use a mid-side EQ. It's not gonna, mid-side EQs will not magically increase your stereo width. It'll just help you define the frequencies occupying that space. So to answer that, I would say I wouldn't use one over the other. I would use one with another. So I would use a mid-side EQ after something like this. And then I would try and scoop out some of those frequencies from my sides that I don't want to be really pushed out to the sides. Like maybe my lower frequencies and my mid frequencies that I don't want to be too much to my sides. I would use my mid-side EQ to scoop that out. So yeah, I wouldn't look at it as two different things. Sorry, I wouldn't look at it as one as a substitute for the other, but I would look at them as two different things doing two different jobs, if that helps. Makes sense, yeah. So, okay, so we had Ozone Imager. Next one, we have Dimension Expander. Interesting. Thank you so much. No problem, Akshay. Anytime. Where did this go? Dimensioning. Oh, it's by Zephyr Records. Zephyr are the same guys who make Serum, right? Do we have a vocal effect plugin on the list? All these effects are vocal effect plugins. You can add them all to vocals.
Yeah, Don.
Zephyr is Serum, right?
They make Dead Mouse, Don.
Oh yes, Zephyr is owned by Deadmau5 or is partnered with Deadmau5? I forget. I think Zephyr is partnered with Deadmau5. So Deadmau5 made Serum with Zephyr, right? Isn't that the story?
So owned by Steven did or something. Did that?
Okay. So I think just Deadmau5 is like partnered with them or something like that.
Yeah, they were friends, I think.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Small world. Okay, so Shesha asked, do we have vocal effect plugins on the list? So pretty much all these plugins can be used with vocal effects. Is there something particular you're looking for vocals? I can use some of these effects on the vocals that I have, and you can play around with them and see what happens. But is there something particular you're looking for? So if there's Shesha, if there's something particular you're looking for, you can put that into chat. I'll see if I can look for something specific. If not, what I can do is we can play around with these plugins on the vocals. Since there's vocals in the project, I can, we'll play around with the vocals and add some stuff to it. I think I should try these on vocals and see. Yeah, exactly. You should try them on vocals and see what happens. We'll try a couple on vocals over here. Since we have vocals, we'll put them on the vocals and see what interesting effects we get. Yeah, I'll just get through this list because we have a couple of more to go. And at the end, we'll quickly play around with some vocals and add these to vocals and see what interesting sounds we can get. All right, so the next one is Zephyr, is Dimension Expander by Zephyr. Sure, that'll help. Thanks, Don. Yeah, no problem, man. That's what we're here for, to help you guys out and to answer your questions. So what am I doing? Dimension Expander. So we're trying this one out. Is a simple stereo spreader. Okay. And a couple of reviews. VSTfree.com. Yeah. Guys, also these websites are great websites to find new plugins and to play around with different plugins. They're always a lot of fun. So again, check out this list, check out these plugins, try them out. They are lots and lots of fun to play around with. Okay, so let's try this out. Another stereo spreader. Let's put a stereo spreader on our bass. Let's do that and see what happens. Okay, I've already spread it quite a bit, so I'm just gonna decrease the spread of my bass. Yeah, just keep it very mono. Alright, let's put this on, so Dimension Expander, that's the one I think. Let's put this on this bass and see what happens. The plugin is literally just a chicken. Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh. Let's turn it off. Nice. So that sounds pretty cool. If you guys are hearing this on headphones, that's actually a pretty nice plugin. So again, on something like this, I would use a mid-side EQ after the fact, and I would scoop out a bit of the highs from the left and right sides. And let's see how this sounds with the track. So you can hear how a lot of those highs and mids are being thrown to the sides, and it's kind of taking away from the depth of the bass sound. So we can just quickly put an EQ8 and kind of mid-side some of these sounds out. Let's just quickly do that. EQ and filters, EQ8. Uh-oh. There it is. Oof. So let's switch the mode to mid-side. Let me go to my sides and let me just, I'm going to be a little aggressive and just cut out my sides completely. My highs on my sides, not my sides completely. So you can hear how immediately by just removing those high frequencies from the sides, the bass just cuts through a lot better. So let's see how it sounds with the rest of the track. Okay, so that's an interesting sound. Okay, we need to get on to our next plugins. We're running out of time. Next is Klanghelm DC1. Looks like a compressor. This is a DC8C. Yes, I tried to make it work. Okay, so the DC8C is a pretty popular compressor. And this is emulating that, I guess. Oopsie. Oh boy, grab the wrong screen. Yeah. Looks like one tricky pioneer, but don't get fooled by the lack of additional controls. You may be surprised on how many different side compression option, left and right channels. Okay, peak, RMS, relax. Right. So yeah, so a pretty straightforward compressor. Let's see, what can we compress? Why not compress our vocals a bit, right? Because they can use some compression. So let's put some compression on this. What was that called again? Plugins. Something with a K, or no, DC183, yeah, there it is. All right, let's put this on our vocals.
DC1.
Yeah, I got it. This one, right? Yeah. Let's see what this sounds like. Oopsie. Okay, so a nice gradual compression on that. Okay, it's not gradual at all. Yeah, so a pretty straightforward compressor that sounds quite nice. So that's nice. A good compressor over there. Let's see what else we got. I just want to rush through this so we can do some vocal processing and play around with that also. Next we have Rough Rider. Rough Rider is another compressor. Yep, it is a compressor. It is one of the most popular dynamic processors on the planet. Okay then. Bold claim. Let's put that on this. I have Valhalla. Okay, let's put it on this and see what happens. Sounds pretty cool. What's this called again? Rough Rider, okay. So let's take Rough Rider. PQR, there it is. Let's drop it on this and see what happens. Okay. Let's try some of the presets. Hysteresis. Oh, that's nice. It squashed it. New York Parallel. New York Parallel has that nice hard compression on it. I like this hysteresis. It's almost choking it, and in this instance it sounds nice. Let's bypass this, see what happens. Let's turn it on. Yeah. This is a pretty good compressor. Let's see how our song sounds now completely, that we've added a whole bunch of effects on it. Bold claim, bold compression, yeah, exactly. We got some plugins here that are adding quite a bit to what we've created. And our last and final one is called Camel Crusher. Of course it is. Compressor distortion. You should check out Le Pew plugin for guitar. Yes, please put that in. Akshay, if you can put that in the thread, we will definitely check it out. Maybe not today, but I will definitely check it out another day. If you can put that in the thread, I will definitely show that on the stream. Guitar plugins work really well with synths, and we have quite a few synths over here, so we can plug that into a synth and try that out. Thanks, Akshay. Yes, thank you, Akshay, as said by Ibnu. So next we have Camel Crusher. Camel Crusher is a free coloring multi-effects plugin. It offers two characters with different distortion sounds. Okay, so this is distortion with a filter and compressor. Okay. What can we put this on? Let's see. It already sounds pretty compressed. Ooh, what about the voice? Yes. Let's put it on this and see what happens. What was that called again? Camel Crusher. How could I forget? Camel Crusher. Let's take that and dump that on this. Oh, I wasn't looking. Did I put it in the right place? Yeah, I did. Let's see what happens.
Down, you're blocking the window.
this could be a good plugin that you can use on guitar. Camel Crusher basically brings out all of the dirt, just like OTT, over the top, yeah. I've used it a bunch. Nice, so this is the first time I'm seeing it. So sad they discontinued. It's discontinued? Camel Crusher is discontinued? Okay, interesting. So we have some vintage plugins. Plugins that are not in circulation anymore. Yeah. So yeah, this is like a nice plugin just to max out all that dirt. Similar to OTT, that is if you use multiband dynamics in Ableton Live. But obviously this doesn't have as much control over it, and I don't know how this is achieving distortion. The distortion you get through OTT is distortion through compression. So you're basically over compressing and getting that. Whereas over here we have a separate compressor and separate distortion. So I'm not too sure how this is working right now. It looks like you have separate line distortion as well as separate compression, and they're both working together, which is interesting. Whereas when you're using OTT in multiband dynamics, you're getting that distortion through just compressing the living hell out of all your frequencies. So it does sound slightly different, but this has a nice sound because of the distortion that's added. Turn it off. It's without. Put it on. So it's nice how the distortion is bringing out all that dirt that's just lying underneath. Let's see how it sounds with this track. I think it basically works like a guitar pedal, perhaps. Yeah, similar to a guitar pedal. You know, when you have your guitar pedals lined up in series. So I'm not sure how these different segments running from one end to the other. How is the actual signal flow running? Not too sure, but it does seem like kind of a pedal type effect that you would hear, like an analog pedal type effect, which is nice. Analog pedals always sound amazing on synths. Like I said, a lot of effects that you would use on guitars, a lot of those effect processors work really well on synths also. So this is definitely a good plugin to use along with your synths. You guys have any other questions? Anything else you guys would like to ask? Yeah, Akshay, that free plugin that you were talking about, it would be awesome if you shared it on the forum. Just share it over here. Just put a new answer over here and share it. I think everyone would be interested in the plugin. Even if it's just the name of the plugin, just put it down. We'll find a link. If it's a free plugin, we'll find a link and add it in over there. So, yeah. I will share the link for sure. Thank you, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for sharing. That is the point of community. The point of community is that we all share these resources and we're all using these resources together. So yes, thanks for sharing. Thanks, Spinny, for sharing these plugins. Really nice plugins. A lot of fun can be had with them. Again, go to the Q&A forum. You'll see the thread. Click on the thread and you'll see all the plugins over here that we were just talking about. Shesha was asking about using some of these plugins for vocals. Is Shesha still here? Should I still go through that? I think we can get some interesting sound with vocals. So in order to do that, I'm just going to duplicate this group. Let's just go ahead and duplicate it. Yes, Shesha is here. Awesome. So Shesha, let's play around with some vocals. So let me just remove Spectral resonator from this. Right. So I'm testing out. Let's remove this compressor. I'm testing out. Ableton Live 11. Ooh, so interesting. So some of the compressors that we went through had some New York compression presets on it. So let's go for some New York compression and add some effects and see what we can get. So for those of you who don't know what New York compression is a form of parallel compression where you take one chain on the parallel and you compress the living hell out of it. And then on the other chain, you keep it clean, or you can add some effects and get some interesting sound. So let's go through it. I'll show you how you set that up. So the first thing you will need is in your instruments, you can take an instrument rack. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag an instrument rack onto, oh, sorry, not instrument rack, effects rack, my bad. Where is the effects rack? In utilities? Yes, okay. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to Live 11, okay? Everything has been placed in different places now. It's like someone coming home and like rearranging your kitchen or your cupboard, and then you have to like look and try to find where everything is. That's what's going on right now. All right, so we have our audio effects rack. Let's open up our chain list. Let's go ahead and add a chain. And let me just call this NY comp. Let's call this NY comp. On this chain, so what was that plugin? What was the last compressor that we used? What was it called? I forget what it was called.
Rough Rider.
Rough Rider? Was it Rough Rider?
Yeah.
Let me see. Am I going blind? Ah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, this is the one. So in the presets, I saw one for New York Parallel. There it is. Right now, in New York Parallel, you want to go for very hard compression. So I'm guessing yes, very high ratio. Yes, this is compressed as all hell. Let's take okay. Oopsie. Let me just. I'm testing out. So we can go even harder. So maybe I'll just go for a higher ratio. I'm testing out. Ableton Live 11. Okay, so there's a lot of noise that's coming up. The noise floor is really boosting up because I recorded it here. Let me just put a gate on this and get rid of some of that noise. Gate will be under, let's guess. I'm guessing it is under dynamics. Ta-da! Alright, so let's put a gate on this. Oops, I put it in the wrong place. Put a gate over here. I'm testing out. Ableton Live 11, Live 11, Live 11, Live 11. I'm testing out. Ableton Live 11, Live 11. Alright, so we got rid of a bit of that noise that's coming in between. So let's go back to our Rough Rider. And again, when you're going for parallel compression, especially New York compression, you want to compress the living hell out of your compressed channel. Like almost to the point of distortion. I'm testing out. Ableton Live 11, Live 11. So we can hear that it's almost distorting now. So let's just turn off the rack and listen to it. I'm testing out. Ableton Live 11, Live 11, Live 11, Live 11. I'm testing testing out. Ableton Live 11. Right, so on the brink of distortion almost. And then once that is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another chain. And I'm just going to call this clean. Right, so the objective of parallel compression or near compression is that you have one chain that is heavily compressed, and you have another chain that is not compressed. So you have one chain that is pretty much like, think of it like, your condensed sound. It's like the, what do you call it? What do you call juice when you concentrate? Yes, it's like juice concentrate, right? It's your concentrate version of the sound. You're just making this really concentrated version, and then you have your clean version to fill in the gaps. And with the rack, you can now adjust levels between these two chains and get the sound that you want. So let's see how it sounds now. I'm testing out Ableton Live 11, Live 11, Live 11, Live 11. You can turn it off. I'm testing out. And then the next good thing that we can do, especially when we are in New York compression, and I'm guessing this is also set up for that, is in New York compression, we're not just parallel compressing, but we're also removing some frequencies. And we're generally going for our mid frequencies. So let's put a channel EQ just before our compressor. Oh, not a channel EQ, sorry, I wanted EQ it. EQ it, let's put that before our Rough Rider compressor. And let me just scoop out some of these mids. I'm testing out Ableton Live 11, Live 11, Live 11, Live 11. I'm testing out. Alright, so now let's listen to it with it on and with it off. I'm testing out Ableton Live 11, Live 11, Live 11, Live 11. I'm testing out Ableton Live 11, Live 11, Live 11. Right, so you can see you can get a nice, thick, clean vocal sound out of that. Now the next thing you can do over here is we can add some effects on our clean chain. What were one of those Valhalla effects that sounded nice? Let's see, let's go to plugins. Let us go to, let's do Supermassive again. So I'm just gonna put Supermassive on my clean chain. And let's see what happens now. I'm testing out Ableton Live 11, Live 11, Live 11, Live 11. I'm testing out Ableton Live 11, Live 11, Live 11, Live 11. I'm testing out Ableton. Well, let's see how that sounds with the rest of the track now. It might be a little too loud, so we'll bring down the volume. So that's a quick, whatever, mash of all those effects into a parallel effects rack. So, Shesha, I hope that helped. That's a interesting way of using these effects together. I mean, using effects in parallel are always fun, especially on vocals. You can get different sounds. So this is a good way of processing some vocals. Try this with different compressors, different EQs, different time-based effects. So on your clean chain, you can put time-based effects, keep them very wet. On your compressed chain, you just want a very compressed sound. You want your vocals as compressed as possible. Put those together and you get a really nice vocal sound. You can always make a really interesting vocal effects track with that concept. So yeah, I think we went way over time going through these things. But yes, please do, if you guys do come across other effects, make sure to add them into this list, right? Whenever you have effects, you can try them out. Great, thank you, Don. That was very informative. Sure, I will try out. Great, I'm glad that you found that helpful, man. Glad that helped you out. Yeah, so if you guys do come across new effects, please do share your effects on this list. We will also keep updating this list. Spinny will keep adding new plugins to this whenever he comes across them. And you guys should add them whenever you come across them as well. So yes, any questions before we wrap up? Anything that you guys would like to add? Anything that you guys are not that you're not clear on? Anything that I talked about that you guys aren't too clear about? Any questions? Last call for questions. All right, everyone is good. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. This was fun and informative. Oh, it was fun for me too. I had a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with these streams. These streams feel like a nice way to wind down the day and have some fun. So I hope you guys are finding these streams useful and having fun with these streams. Again, if there are particular topics you guys want us to talk about in these streams, let us know. I think I'm going to take a break from the Live 11 updates over the next couple of days. I probably won't do Live 11 tomorrow and day after. Just because we're waiting for some more things to be added to the beta, like some of the instruments and whatnot. And I really want to showcase those instruments and go through that. Otherwise, we're just going through a lot of small bits and pieces of the beta over time. So we'll probably take a break from the Live 11 beta for a couple of days and start again sometime next week. So tomorrow and day after, we'll figure out what we'll talk about. We thought we'll probably talk about, interesting things that we find in the news every day, because we all come across some interesting, maybe a new instrument or a new, synth or, effect or anything like that. Beta is really beta. We need Papa Ableton 11. Yeah, that's true. It is beta 11. It is small. So we will definitely get, I think the expected release date is early next year, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully we're hoping at the end of this month, we're already at the end of this month, but probably in a week or so, we'll probably get more stuff added to the beta that we can show off and play around with. But yeah, let us know, guys, if there are certain subjects you guys want us to talk about. If you guys have questions on music that you guys are working on, let us know. Share your music. We will go through what you're working on, give you some advice, some tips, some tricks. Also, we'll get Nikhil to come in on a couple of streams because you might get annoyed of my pretty face for too long. It's just too much pretty to look at for too many days. So we'll probably switch out and swap places every now and then and try some new streams. So thanks for coming by, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Again, thanks for joining the platform. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the link in the description to join the platform. You'll be able to interact with this stream. You'll be able to talk to different participants, share your ideas. You can interact with the Q&A forum, which is what we've been doing. So yeah, get on that. And if you have any questions, let me know. Leave it in the chat. Send us a message, say hi, and tell us what your questions are. Thanks again for stopping by, guys. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay happy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.